Welcome back to the Business Ignite podcast, where we light the fire for business growth and marketing success. Your hosts, Ethan Walker and Samantha Reed, bring you the latest trends, expert insights, and actionable strategies to fuel your business journey. Let's ignite your potential.
All right, so you sent this article our way about websites actually hurting businesses, which kind of makes you think when you've put so much work into building your brand,
It really does. Like, you think if you have a bad website, it's fine, no harm done. But this article is really saying, no, a bad website, it actually pushes customers away before they even know how great you are.
So basically, our websites have to be perfect or else...
Well, maybe not perfect.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But I get it. If I saw a website that was kind of clunky, I don't know if I would trust that company as much.
Exactly. That's the thing, right? Trust. When you think about it, your website, it's often like the first time a potential customer is seeing you, especially online. It's how you're making that first impression.
It's like walking into a shop and I don't know, everything's disorganized.
Yeah.
The staff doesn't seem that interested in helping you. You're not going to feel good about spending money there.
No, even if they have like the best products, if you get that initial feeling, that negative experience, that's hard to overcome.
So where do we start with this? Because the article mentions 6 common website killers. Should we go through those one by one?
Yeah, let's do that. I bet you've encountered a few of these yourself.
Oh, for sure. And I'm sure our listeners have too. Like, who hasn't gone to a website that looks like it was designed when we were kids?
Right. It's 2024. If your website looks like it's from the 90s, it's going to look amateur, even if your product is great.
Totally. So this first website killer is, the article says, a lack of mobile friendliness. And I know this is huge, but I'm still shocked at how many websites I go on that are like impossible to use on my phone.
I know. It's crazy, right? Especially when you think about how much time people spend on their phones, browsing, on the go or between meetings, even while they're watching TV. If your website isn't designed for those smaller screens, you're basically just like shutting out all those potential customers.
And it's more than just being annoying, right? Doesn't Google penalize websites that aren't mobile friendly?
They do, absolutely. Google's algorithms, they want to make sure that they're sending their users to websites that have a good user experience and a clunky mobile site. That's not it.
So not only are you frustrating anyone who's trying to look at your site on their phone, it could also mean that less people are finding your site in the first place.
Exactly. It's a lose-lose situation.
Okay, so mobile friendliness, check. What's the next thing we need to look out for?
So this next one goes hand in hand with mobile responsiveness. It's all about making sure that your website feels, fresh and up to date.
And you don't just mean like making sure the copyright date in the footer is current, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to feel current. Like, I'm way more likely to trust a business that looks like they care about their website.
That's it. Because if your website looks outdated, it just makes your business seem, wow, a little lazy, maybe. Think about it. If you go to a website and the links are broken, the information is old, the design looks like it hasn't been changed in 5 years, would you feel good about, giving them your credit card information?
Probably not.
Right.
It's like you're walking to a store and the lights are flickering and they're playing music from like a decade ago. You're going to wonder what else they're not keeping up with, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Are they even still in business? Do they care about their customers?
And especially online, where there's so many scams.
Yeah.
That lack of trust can be a deal breaker.
Absolutely. So a modern website, it shows that you are invested in your business, you're paying attention to the details, and that you're, keeping up with the times.
Right.
And that builds trust, which is what you need if you're trying to build a brand online.
Yeah, it's like the online version of making sure your store is clean and inviting so people want to come in and look around.
Exactly. And speaking of inviting, that actually brings us to our next website killer, which is poor navigation.
Oh, yeah. Like those websites that feel like a maze?
Yes. It's like they're designed to make you get lost. Clicking through endless menus and hitting dead ends, you can't even find the Contact Us page.
It is like a choose-your-own-adventure book. But all of the choices are bad, and you're just frustrated. Why would anyone design a website like that?
I think sometimes people just want to show off all the cool things their website can do.
Yeah.
And they forget about the most important thing,
Which is
the user experience.
Right. Make it easy for people to use.
Exactly, because with website navigation, simpler is always better. Visitors should be able to find what they need quickly and easily.
Without having to, learn how to code or something.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So how do we make sure that our website's navigation doesn't make people want to pull their hair out?
So the most important thing is to think about it from the visitor's perspective. What are they coming to your site to find?
Okay.
Make those pages easy to find.
Yeah.
So like your About Us page or your products page, your contact information, that stuff should be super easy to get to.
And not hidden away in some drop-down menu that takes like 5 clicks to get to.
Exactly. Keep your menu short, organized, and don't try to cram too much in there.
What about a search bar?
Right.
Those are really helpful when I'm on a website that has a lot of content.
Oh, search bars are great. It's like giving your visitor a shortcut to get to what they need.
So they can spend more time actually reading your content or looking at your products and less time trying to figure out how your website works.
Exactly.
I like it.
Now, are you ready to move on to another website killer?
Hit me with it.
Okay, so this one's a little bit technical, but it can really impact how well your website performs.
All right, let's hear it.
We're talking about website speed.
Or a lack thereof, you mean?
Right, exactly.
Oh, you mean like when you go to a website and it takes forever to load
Mm-hmm.
and you're stuck staring at that little spinning wheel?
Yes, that's the one. It's 2024. We want everything to happen instantly. And if a website doesn't load in a few seconds, people will just go somewhere else.
Which makes sense because who wants to sit there and wait?
Exactly. And like we were talking about earlier, Google cares about this too. If your site is slow, it could hurt your ranking, which means even less people will see it.
Ouch. So what can we do about that? How do we make our websites load faster?
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm so guilty of uploading like the biggest photos to my website
Yeah.
without even thinking about how that might slow things down.
Yeah, that's a really common mistake. Image optimization is super important because those huge image files can really slow your website down. But the good news is you can make them smaller without making them look noticeably worse. Okay, good to know. So we've got image optimization. What else?
Have you ever heard of a CDN?
Maybe. I feel like I've seen that acronym before, but I don't really know what it means.
It stands for Content Delivery Network. Basically, it's like having a bunch of servers all over the world that all have copies of your website on them. So when someone visits your site, it loads from the server that's closest to them, which makes it way faster.
Oh, that's really cool. It's like having a website in every country.
Exactly. And it's not just about speed either. A CDN can also make your website more secure and more reliable.
Okay, that's awesome. So we've talked about a lot of things today. Making sure your website is mobile friendly, easy to navigate, that it loads quickly, and that it looks like it was designed, sometime this century. Is there anything else that our listeners should be thinking about when they're working on their websites?
I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that your website, it's like a reflection of your brand. So if it looks good, if it's easy to use, it makes your whole business look more professional and trustworthy.
Great. Like if you walk into a store
Yeah.
and everything is clean and organized, you're going to have a better first impression. If
Yeah.
you walk into a store and everything is like messy and chaotic.
Exactly. Your website is like your digital storefront. So you want to make sure that it's just as welcoming and easy to navigate as your physical location, if you have one.
This has been so helpful. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I bet our listeners have too.
Me too. Remember, your website, it's an investment. It's worth it to spend the time and money to get it right.
Absolutely. All right, so that's another deep dive in the books. A huge thank you to our listener who sent us this article.
Yes, thank you.
We had a blast talking about it. And to everyone listening, if you have a piece of content that you'd like us to deep dive on, just send it our way. Until next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Business Ignite podcast, where we fuel your business growth and marketing success. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to rate and review us. It does help others find the show. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Business Ignite Podcast and share this episode with a friend. Keep the fire burning, and remember, your success is just one strategy away. Until next time, stay ignited.